Hi, guys. I promise I'm not alone here. Nate's just sitting right here, getting everything ready to go. This week, we honestly and truthfully didn't have anything planned for today, but this is one of our favorite parts about our Sunday, so we didn't want to not get on. So Nate's going to link to a wonderful podcast that he did this week, and he's going to explain a little bit about what that podcast was and how it can help with marriage prep. And we're just going to hang out with you guys for a few minutes. And
how was your week?
How was my week?
Yeah, did you have a good week?
Well, this week I did a lot in regards to prepping for baby to come. So baby's going to be here anytime now. We're 37 and a half weeks today. So this week I did a lot with the nursery and a lot to prepare for what I need to bring to the hospital. I've been getting my go bag ready, and I've been resting a lot because I'm tired and she's kind of crowding all my internal organs and making it hard to breathe. So, do you guys want to see the nursery? I feel like I'm all alone in this, Nate.
You are. No. Don't do that.
Okay.
Let me just send you this link, and you can pull out your phone, and you can go in the nursery and show
Great.
everybody.
I'm going to show you guys the nursery. How are you guys doing? How has your week been? Let's see.
Did you get it?
I did get it.
Did you open the link?
I did. Enter broadcast studio.
Did you enter the studio? Okay.
Because I'm backstage.
Otherwise, it's going to do that.
All right. Hi, Nate.
Hey, babe.
How do I turn my camera around? Here
Rotate your wrist 180 degrees.
There we go. So this is baby's room. We don't have it 100% ready because we still need to hang some things on the wall. But this is...
I've learned that when Angilyn does things like this, the right thing to say is, "This looks amazing, babe."
We just wanted it to be really, well, okay, I just wanted it to be really simple and gender neutral. We don't have our crib sheets yet or anything. Nothing on the walls. But we're ready to go. Whenever she gets here, we'll be good. That's all.
What's your favorite part about the room? Oh, here's this. Okay.
I'm back. How do I get rid of my camera?
I took you off. Oh, jeez. Sam said, "Can you just hang up? I'm just going to kick you out."
I'm trying.
Bye. You're kicked out. Sam said, "Well, that's much nicer than our room that we started for our son, but it's developed more until after he was born." Jessica says, looks great, very comfortable. Angilyn has definitely been nesting.
I have been nesting.
And by nesting, we mean spending.
Costs money to have a baby, man. Well,
that was fun. I think did you expect that to take longer than it did?
No, I did expect it to take longer than it did. Sorry, guys. Today we're just going to shoot the moon a little bit.
Shoot the moon?
Is that the term?
That's not. It's not even close to the
term.
What's
the term?
I believe it would be inappropriate to say on this channel because it's a swear word.
Oh, wow.
Shoot the breeze?
Don't say it. Shoot the breeze.
Shoot the breeze. Just talk about stuff. For Things to talk about. Okay, here's some stuff I want to talk to you about. So first of all, I posted a link in the comments, and I want to tell you about that link. So I get a lot of questions from people about marriage and how to have. I'm going to move this so we are centered.
We're so prepared today, you guys.
It's been a scramble. So I get a lot of questions from people just throughout the week because I run the Growth Marriage website about marriage and like what makes marriage work. And a lot of people are frustrated. A lot of wives typically are frustrated because they feel like their husbands are checked out. They're not getting support. They feel like every time they try and get closer to their husband or talk about an issue that they have in their relationship, their husband pulls away. It's not universally the case, but most of the time I see that sometimes those roles are flip-flopped, but generally speaking, that's the case. And I see a lot of men who feel overwhelmed. They feel like they don't have a lot of connection with anybody. They're a little bit lonely. They're carrying a very heavy weight on their shoulders, and they just feel like they have to bear it and not share how hard it is for them with others. And in order to bear that heavy weight and the stresses of life and everything, they just feel like they have to go it alone. And they kind of withdraw from connection. And this is a really common cycle that I see. And there's a really great resource that kind of provides a lot more context into that cycle that's called attachment theory. And it's, if you've ever heard of the book, pull it out right here, Hold Me Tight by Sue Johnson. Most of marriage therapy is based on Hold Me Tight. Emotion focused therapy is based on attachment theory, and emotion focused therapy is basically what's covered in this book. And most marriage therapists have at least some training, if not a lot of training, in emotion focused therapy. And it's all about creating a safe emotional connection. So attachment theory is really interesting. And typically we talk about 3 different types of attachment. There's anxious attachment, there's avoidant attachment, and then there's secure attachment. And most of us tend to fall into, or a lot of us tend to fall into a quadrant of anxious or avoidant on the majority of the time. Mm-hmm. Anxious people are constantly feeling like they need reassurance, they need validation, they need their partner to behave in a certain way so that they can feel like they're doing a good job. They need their partner to connect with them and reaffirm them that the relationship is still solid. And they just kind of need this constant like pat on the back of like, we're good, everything's okay, to calm their anxiety. And on the other side, the avoidant people have typically learned like, hey, I just need to fend for myself. Nobody out there's really got my back. And so I need to take care of myself. And if I trust people, oftentimes they get let down. So they create a lot of emotional space.
And you talk about this in the podcast, is that right?
And this is what we talk about in the show is, this is an interview I did with Kyle Benson, who works at the Gottman Institute and the Love Lab. He actually helps study couples and document these cycles. And it's especially dangerous when you get an anxious person and an avoidant person in a relationship, because the anxious person
repel each other?
Is always trying to get more connection and closeness, and the avoidant person is always pulling away because they feel smothered, and everything just escalates and it turns into a hot mess. So if that sounds like you, that is an interview that you will likely be interested in learning more about. I think something that we should all be conscious of is, how do we create a secure attachment with our partner? I think we can tie this into the gospel by, I don't know if I made any sense summarizing all of that, by the way. I just rambled a little
great,
bit.
Honey.
But I think there's a lot of people who have anxious and avoidant relationships with God. And I think there's a lot of people who have anxious and avoidant relationships with family members, and also obviously with their spouse. And I think it's really important to learn, what are the symptoms? What does that look like? And then like, there's this concept called earned secure attachment. Like, you can earn or work towards, if you don't naturally have, a secure attachment with people in your life. And I think that's important to learn about. So this is kind of an intro to attachment theory that I link to in the comments down below. Would love it if you would check it out. And then if you want to learn more about what to do if you are falling more on the anxious side of the spectrum or more on the avoidant side of the spectrum. Last week I did a live interview with Kyle Benson to just talk about the anxious attachment and practical things that you can do to actually kind of ground yourself and feel more secure. And then next week I'm going to be interviewing him again to talk about avoidant, and you can catch those interviews live in the Epic Marriage Club. Just go to epicmarriageclub.com, sign up. It's like, I think it's $15 a month if you do month to month, and like $8 a month if you sign up for the full year. And I'm donating $15 to everybody, basically your first month's tuition. For every person who signs up between now and the end of September, I'm going to donate that to a family who's in need, and it's being matched by Clark Bell.
Oh, awesome.
He reached out and said he would match a donation.
I didn't know that he was going to match.
If you want to watch those interviews, they're super awesome. And if you sign up to watch them, then $30 is going to go to a family who really needs help right now. There's some awesome people that I've got on my radar that I'm connecting with right now to try and kind of give them some support. People who've lost jobs, people who've been diagnosed with cancer, people who've lost children, just really tough situations right now. So go watch that interview that I linked. And if you want more, come check out Epic Marriage Club. That'd be a cool thing to do.
So today's video is just going to be short. It was just meant to introduce that topic to you guys and to come hang out with you, because we just really love spending our Sundays with you.
Your leopard print towel shirt.
My leopard print towel shirt.
How are you guys? What's like, I would be interested. I don't even know if we can make this happen, but if anybody wants to like jump on and ask us questions, let us know, and we'll actually bring you onto the feed. Like,
sure.
Just hit me up in the comments and say, yes, I want to come on, and I will drop a link and you can just jump in and maybe we can have a quick chat.
Great. So if
does
you
that sound fun?
Yeah, it does sound
weird?
Fun. No, I wasn't expecting to do that, but
I'll actually post the link right here. Oh, that's not it. We can only have like one or two of you on at a time. But if you wanted to jump on and say hi.
Yeah, that would be really fun, actually. Also, like I said a little bit before, we're 2.5 weeks away from my due date. So September 3rd is our due date. My doctor's appointment this week, he said that he was, in his professional opinion, she would go until my due date. I was hoping
You're pretty locked up down there right now.
I'm pretty locked up right now. But we're in for some big changes in our lives. Probably one of the biggest changes yet.
Yeah, so if we go a little bit dark in the next couple of weeks, just know that's not because we don't love you. It's just because...
Which is why we were unprepared today, because this has kind of been the focus of our...
Well, Ange worked 3 13-hour shifts this week.
Also did that.
And that's exhausting. So it's just been a tired week at the Bagley residence.
Everyone keeps making fun of my...
Pregnant waddle?
Pregnant waddle.
I don't think they're making fun. I just think that...
They like to giggle at it when I walk down the hall. Takes me 3 times as long.
Oh, man. Jessica, I want some carne asada fries.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Jump on. We'll eat fries with you.
And if
Sam,
anyone,
we don't care how you look.
If anyone has any advice of what we should be doing for the next 2.5 weeks to prepare
This is the only time we will ask for parenting advice. Tell us all the things that we're going to do wrong as parents. And then once we have a baby, don't ever talk to us about we should parent.
Honestly, this is one reason I love what we do in the marriage space. Our anniversary is this week as well, on Wednesday.
Happy anniversary. You're going to be working, aren't you?
Maybe. 4 years. 4 years on Wednesday. So we really haven't been married that long. And
feels like it's been forever, though.
What I love about what we do is we're kind of putting into practice the principles that we've learned in real time, and then sharing that in real time with people. And now I feel like we've learned a whole bunch of principles of parenting and things like that, but you can't ever really 100% prepare until...
It's always easier to parent somebody else's kids. The best parents are the people who don't have children.
So we get this awesome opportunity to kind of practice what we preach when baby comes, because that creates a whole new dynamic. And we'll get to share what we learn in real time and just be super vulnerable with everybody. And
buckle your seatbelt.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be a lot of interesting lessons ahead.
Yes, lots of interesting lessons.
Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
You ready to poop a pumpkin?
Oh my gosh.
That's
I'm
what my mom
nervous.
says birth is like.
Pooping a pumpkin?
Yeah.
Great.
How does the
Sam
link work?
wants to
Just
know how the
click
link
it.
works.
And it'll bring you into the studio, and then I'll just add you onto the live feed. Super easy. I'm watching the GIF of that little girl just walk into in that door over and over and over again.
That you put on the email?
Anyway. Anything else you want to talk about?
I think someone's gonna. Are you gonna jump on, Sam?
There's a delay.
Okay, we'll hang out for just a few minutes.
When we talk and when they talk. What's another good story about this week? Anything happen?
What do you? I already said my week was spent getting nursery ready and
cool,
packing my go bag, and
cool.
I feel a lot more prepared now.
Oh, hey, look, Sam's on.
Here we go.
Wow.
What up, Sam?
Hi, this is like a dream come true.
Don't lie.
I for real, I only get to talk to you guys in comments, and like you said, sometimes it's backed up a little bit, so I put it in, then you'll answer it like 3 minutes later or something. But,
dude, where are you based out of?
Right now I'm in South Carolina.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got your info actually from my bishop when I was living in Missouri. I think he said he knew somebody that knew you guys and that you were doing this broadcast, so he told me that this would be something that would be helpful.
Tell Bishop what's up. Thanks for sending Sam our way.
It's fun to chat with you, not in the comments, because I feel like you're one of our regulars. You're one of our most loyal listeners every week.
Yeah, I definitely try to be. I know there was like a couple weeks that I missed that.
That's okay. We don't take roll.
You don't take roll. Yeah, that's okay.
So what's going on in your world, man?
Well, I mean, I had some posted some things in the comments previous in some other videos of like kind of how my relationship is going currently and why the things that you guys talk about and just your whole relationship dynamic and the chemistry you two have together. It's a good like how do I put it, like a framework, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like build off of. I mean, I do my own. I've done personal counseling before, and I mean, not to say anything bad about those counselors, it's hard to find someone that you can connect with,
right?
And that's a difficult part about counseling sometimes. But I honestly can say for the majority of the things that you guys talk about and how you word things, like I'm at an understanding level all the time.
That is wonderful to hear.
Yeah,
that's our biggest goal.
It is our biggest goal for
so
sure.
Are you married? I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm married.
Okay. How long have you guys been together?
We've been together this year will be 2 years married. We've known each other for 3.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That part of that is currently separated.
Oh, okay.
So that's the kind of like, okay, well, I mean, this kind of move thing. So her and my son live in Missouri, and I live here in South.
Oh yeah.
Planning on moving back next month.
Good.
To kind of be closer and work on things in the relationship there to kind of figure things out. So your broadcasts and your podcast have been very helpful to kind of like get some information, start making bits to, practice there.
Well, dude, we're definitely rooting for you for sure.
Thank you.
And if there's ever anything that we can cover that would make life easier or help you get some answers, just let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for the most part, you guys have been covering a lot more than I anticipated, and you answer questions that I was gonna have, and it's really cool that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, good.
I'm getting this experience, and congratulations, by the way. Whenever.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks.
Or when we had our son, it was pretty awesome. She got induced earlier, so he was supposed to be born June 3rd, but we had him May 28th.
Okay.
Yeah. So are you
Let's
guys
see how long I last.
are you guys thinking about it and being induced, or did you want to wait till the?
We're just
kind of letting nature take its course.
Yeah.
I think if I end up going too far over my due date, then I'd probably look into it. But
we're just trying to keep tabs on baby and make sure she's growing and alive and doing okay. And we're just day by day just letting things happen. So
yeah,
I find that when people get attached to a specific outcome, and then things don't go the way they plan, they get really anxious about it. So we've got like options and plans, but we're not fully committed to like one specific outcome. So
I gotcha. Yeah.
I had convinced myself that she was going to come super early because I've been working such long hours and on my feet the whole time.
Right.
And then when I went to the doctor and he was like, "You're locked up. This baby's not coming anytime soon." It was almost like I was running a marathon and then told myself that the finish line was just around the corner.
Uh-huh.
And then you turn the corner and the
like
finish line's not there.
24.
And it's like
still 2 more miles.
And then it makes the last 2 miles feel like 100 years long. So It was then that I was like, okay, I'm just going to tell myself she's going 41 weeks. I'm in it for the long haul so that I don't, so I'm not disappointed by failed
Jessica
expectations.
wants to know your due date.
My due date is September 3rd. So that is in 2.5 weeks.
Yep.
But,
really cool.
So is there anything, Sam, that we have not covered that you wish we would talk more about?
Yeah. I know you guys have been thinking about it. I don't know when you're going to post anything about it, but the issue with pornography and how.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not sure where you're going to go with that subject, but
I will give you a teaser.
Okay.
Do you want me to give you a teaser?
Yeah.
We have actually a podcast episode in the queue that I just need to get edited and thrown up.
That's not the teaser I was going to give, but that is part of a teaser. So I am working on a project right now that I haven't talked to anybody about this. And it's with a group of members of our church and a handful of therapists. And we're specifically going to be talking about pornography, and it's going to be an entire series, like an entire 10 episodes on like porn addiction, sex addiction, and sexual health. And it's going to be really, really cool. And so we're in the process right now of kind of locking in and recording the episodes. Mm-hmm. And then we should be launching it in the next couple of weeks. So like we will probably do an episode, but I'm working on a project right now that's going to go super in depth, like multiple hours of content that will help kind of create some really clear context and provide some really awesome tools. And anyway, I'm really excited about it.
Is that going to be on the Growth Marriage?
I will just send out an email and let everybody know where it is. It's top secret right now. I can't talk about like the name or who it's with or anything.
I don't even know this.
But
I knew you were working on it, but
it's going to be really, really cool, really powerful tools. One of the things that we're talking about right now is this interesting concept that I think is, and we'll go more into depth into this on one of the episodes, but like if I were to ask you, this is just a no right or wrong answer here, but if I were to ask you to describe what physical health was, like how do you create physical health for yourself? What do you do?
My first answer would be, well, I would think of, daily exercise, eating foods, and physically that's about it.
Yeah. Getting a couple hours of sleep every night, that probably helps. Washing your hands, brushing your teeth is going to contribute to your health. And it's interesting when we talk about physical health, we talk about all of those things that you mentioned, like eating right, exercising, getting sleep, all the things that we should be doing to make sure our body is really healthy. Mm-hmm. And if we talk about emotional health, it's probably the same thing. Like, oh, you got to journal, you maybe pray or meditate, like go talk to a therapist if you need to. If we talk about spiritual health, people are going to say, read your scriptures, say your prayers, go to church, listen to conference talks, try and tune in with the spirit. But if we talk about sexual health, it's really interesting that the thing that we talk about is just avoiding bad things.
It's a lot of no.
It's like, well, to have sexual health, you avoid pornography, or you avoid an affair, or you avoid whatever it is that causes some sort of damage in your relationship. And typically the first time that a couple really talks, or especially a man talks about sexual health or any type of like sexual issues, is when they've hurt somebody, or they're being diagnosed with some sort of illness, or they've broken a law or something like that. It's like, so the goal of our show is to talk about like, what does sexual health look like? Instead of just talking about what we need to move away from, why don't we talk about what we need to move towards? So instead of talking about not getting sick physically, like how do you not get the coronavirus, let's talk about all of the things that you can do to stay healthy, like taking your vitamins and getting outside in the sunshine and like all of those things. And when you focus on moving towards something, moving away from the bad stuff gets a lot easier. Yeah. So that's going to be a lot of the premise of the show. And it's going to be really interesting. So,
well, I'm excited for that. I am looking forward to that, because there, so that you guys had with, I can't remember her name, the therapist that you guys.
Shermer Sellers, when we talked about sexual shame.
Yes, that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information that I was like, I haven't thought about this, and I've studied a good bit on a few things in relation to that, but when it comes to thinking about sexuality, that's a lot of things that are just closed off, or let's gate this over here and not worry.
Yeah. Right.
It's really, whenever we talk about sex or sexuality or porn in our church culture, there tends to be a lot of like fear and shame and worry about how we're going to be perceived and what people are going to think about us. So I'm really excited to kind of bring that stuff out in the open. I've been working really hard to like set aside that shame and just be able to talk about this stuff without that. And my hope is that as we kind of have these conversations, and I'll send you a link when they pop up.
Yeah.
But as we start having these conversations, that you'll have more of those moments of like, oh, or like, oh, finally somebody's talking about this.
Yeah.
And oh, that's a way better way of approaching this.
Mm-hmm.
So
well,
that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, I feel like this is a subject that we, as a couple, have wanted to talk so much more about on the Mormon Marriages Podcast and in our avenue. And it's one that we tread very lightly on, just because it is a very sensitive and triggering subject for a lot of people.
And people get angry if you don't talk about it the way they want you to talk about it.
And we feel like in our culture, we've been talking about it one specific way for a really long time. And it's been doing us a disservice, and has been creating our own negative cycle when it comes to issues surrounding pornography for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so we take a different approach to it that's more around, like what Nate was saying, a holistic view of sexual health, because unwanted pornography use is more of a symptom of a deeper core issue.
A lot of the time, yeah.
And if it's like, if you have a cold and then everyone just says, well, just stop sneezing. That's not really, it's not really going to help your cold. But if you can get down to the
internal
core issue and figure out, well, what are the core things that are triggering looking at pornography, and what is contributing to the negative cycle that makes it so hard to stop. And so, yeah, this is definitely something we'll be delving into a lot deeper. We just take it slow. But I think our culture is a lot more prepared to have these conversations now, and it's really hopeful, but still something that I think will take some time.
Yeah.
But
I feel like it's definitely been an ingrained thing that that our culture has had for quite some time, and I feel like the change is necessary. And something like this, let's say if it's only you two starting it out, and hopefully it brings out through all your viewers, then it takes a while to get through. But yeah, but I do want to say, since one thing I personally want to say to you two, so I'm glad that I'm getting the opportunity to do that now, is personally for you, Nate, to thank you for I mean, I don't know you personally or your personal life or whatever you guys do, you know, on the background, but I feel like I'm a good judge of character sometimes. I try to be, you know. So I want to just personally thank you, you know, for the steps that you're taking and that you started to take, you know, years ago to do something better for people around you, for community, for people like me that wouldn't have the understanding or, you know, I personally, because I'm looking for the steps, I'm looking for things to do to move forward, to be happy. And so far, I haven't had as much help and in-depth understanding until I started watching these podcasts and you. And that tells me, because I'm a very analytical person, I know it takes a lot of time and a lot of experience and a lot of thought, prayer, all the above to get to do something that you're doing.
Thanks, man.
So I definitely want to appreciate you and thank you for that. And for you, Angilyn, like, I think you are a bomb wife.
Thank you.
Support that you give Nate and the inspiration that I'm sure you are for him, and the family that you're giving him and to yourself. Like, I think, I love both of you. I think you're both
man.
best, Angilyn. You're like bomb wife.
Thank you.
She's the bomb.com.
Yeah.
That means a lot to me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I hope we get to meet in person sometime soon. That'd be wonderful.
I hope so too. That would be nice.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for the porn series coming up. I will send a link out via email as soon as it's ready. And I'll actually probably bring on some of the experts on maybe some of these Sunday lives to introduce the whole theme of everything. It'll be that'd be a cool way to do it. But yeah, I've got good stuff coming because I think that there's a lot of, your question represents the question of lots and lots and lots of members of the church going through similar struggles. So,
and it needs to be brought out, you know, a lot of it's kept behind, and it needs to, we can only move forward when things are kind of brought to light. So
definitely.
Yeah, not talking about it is definitely
we're not
helpful.
alone in this. Jessica has a great comment.
Jessica just commented, my husband didn't grow up in the church and has a hard time understanding why I feel so much sexual shame and have such a hard time expressing myself sexually. He grew up talking openly about sexuality, and I don't understand that. Yeah, you aren't alone either, Jessica. No. Like, we have a really interesting church culture where we just don't talk about this stuff. So this is definitely something that we're going to be talking a lot more about very soon. I have a shelf of books that I've read over the last couple of years, and I would love to get more in depth, not just around the pornography conversation, but around just sexuality and desire and sex and your sexual garden. And anyway, there's so much to talk about here. So we're excited to kind of continue down the rabbit hole. Anyway.
But thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was fun.
It was. Thanks again, guys.
Yeah, you bet, man. We'll see you again real soon.
Hope so. Bye.
Take care. That was fun.
Delightful.
We'll do that more often.
Anybody else want to jump on?
Yeah, anyone else want to jump on?
Just click the little link. I'll drop it in the chat again. Sounds great. StreamYard link if you want to jump on and hang out with us. Otherwise, we'll probably just stay on for another minute or two and jump off if nobody else jumps on. Does that sound good?
Thanks for hanging out with us today, even though it was very informal.
I'm such an extrovert. Like, I am so sick of being lonely.
This is really one of our favorite parts of our Sundays.
I wish I could just invite you guys over for dinner every week and we could just all Skype in and just hang out and crack jokes. And
this morning I was feeling distraught because we didn't have anything planned. And we were just like, well, I guess we can just send out the link to that podcast because it was such a good podcast. And I was like, can we at least just get on and chat with people? Because it's just fun for us. We like it.
Anybody else have the guts to jump on? That would be a huge dinner, right, Sam?
It would be a huge dinner. That would be so fun.
We started this tradition back in the day with at my house, and it was like once a month we would have what's called dinner for sinners. And you can only come to dinner if you were a sinner.
Well, wasn't it like someone said, I'll be at Sinner soon because their autocorrect changed dinner to
It was my
sinner.
cousin. But then we just joked around and called it dinner for sinners. And I just like the idea of just hanging out with people, and we can all just admit none of us are perfect. We're all working on stuff. And if you want to be self-righteous and judge others, you're not welcome at this dinner. It's only a dinner for sinners. It's only for people
Which
who
includes everybody.
admit being imperfect.
Includes the people who will admit.
Who are humble enough to admit that they have struggles. Yeah. If you don't want to hang out with sinners, don't come to this dinner.
Anyways, I think we're probably good to go.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Sam, for jumping on.
Next week, we'll have something prepared for you.
Something so good.
Something so great, unless baby comes, which I don't think she will, but
No, you'll just be even more pregnant next week than you were this week.
okay.
Okay, we love you guys.
Bye. Have a
See
good
you soon.
week.
And go check out that interview with Kyle that I linked in the comments
It
at
is
the top.
a really good interview.
And would love to see you in the Epic Marriage Club if you can make it. That's going to be a super dope experience. So thank you, Sam. Thank you, Jessica. Thanks to